Hi, everybody. This is Ronda Cobb, the Money Coach. Listen, you are going to love this show. This is not a topic we hear a lot about. And when you do, it's usually, presented in a different format. You really have to go out and search for it. So I'm really glad that we can do this for you now. As you recall, this month we're doing a series on retirement planning. We're focusing on those who are really interested in continuing on the path of financial growth. People who want to get away from all the negativity going on in the world, just take a little break and make sure that your financial future is better organized for success. So this whole month, this is the third one, we're talking about retirement. Tired of working? Oh, yes, who isn't? So let's prepare for retirement. This is show 3. The first 2 are still available on all the players in case you missed them. So where you picked up this show, you can go back in and you can pick up the first 2. That's great. You can play them out of order. It won't hurt a thing. So everybody we know is experiencing a little bit of stress in these days. But do all you can. And as I have said, the one thing that relieves a huge amount of stress is to make sure that your finances are in order. Less stress and a better future. What's not to love about that? So let's get going. Let's make a commitment. Committed people make a decision, they set a goal, and they start working towards it. That way, they don't end up with the same old lifestyle and the same old complaints and the same old results. You start with a new thing and you end up with new activities and new habits, and you add all those together and you make serious progress towards new goals. Does it take a little time? Just a little. Is it worth it? Absolutely. So if you're making a commitment, let's just go there. Now remember the last show I said, I also researched how much people who have 401ks at work are contributing. And I found out that every age bracket is woefully underutilizing their 401k opportunity. So jump on the 401k bandwagon and contribute to your 401k. And I said we'd go into more detail, so let's do it. First off, let me go backwards just a little bit. What is a 401k? They used to be really, really popular, and most companies used to offer them. Now it's not so much, but they're still a good program. A 401k is a special savings or retirement plan sponsored by your employer. It is not a pension plan. That's a different plan. We're not talking about those right now. Those are totally different. This is a 401k, all right? Now, a lot of companies got rid of them. I don't know why. They transferred a lot of the money away from the employee programs, I suspect, but they are expensive to maintain. So if your company is still offering one and you are not participating, make it worth their while because they contribute money to your account and they make it worth your while. So learn how to work with this amazing thing and maximize it. Simplified greatly, a 401k or a 403b for some employers are programs that allow retirement savings to build up over time. The money going into the plan comes from 2 sources. One is from your wages. It's a payroll deduction made before taxes are calculated on your pay, and it goes into your chosen contribution. The other source is the employer's match of the contribution. So if you're not participating, you're not getting your match. Other people in your company that are participating, they're getting their match. They're getting free money and you're not getting any. Well, what's up with that? But it's your choice, not theirs. They can't, if they offer the 401k to every person on salary, you are one of those people on salary. It's your choice. You get to participate. So if you're not participating, you robbed yourself of that match money. That's free money. Why would you do that? So let's increase your contribution so you don't miss out. All right? Technically, you can put up to $19,500 per year of your gross wages into your 401k. Now, your employer will match your contribution on a percentage basis based on your annual gross salary and their limit. So if you contribute $19,500, no, they're not going to give you $19,500 in match, but they will match part of it. You have to look at each individual plan to see what the match is. But they still match part of it, and it's still free money, so let's get on the bandwagon. Let's get going. So my suggestion to you is look at how much you're contributing and at least double the percentage that the company matches. All right? Find out what their match is. Do they match 5% of what you contribute? 50% of what you contribute? Okay, if they match 50% of what you contribute, you work for one great company and you better be contributing as much as you possibly can. That's all I have to say for you. Typically, they match 3 to 5%. Some only match 1. So you just get whatever the plan states. You have to look that up. But you should be matching or contributing way more. And if you're young without children, then you should aim for the highest contribution rate that you can afford. You can always back it down later after you have a family. But for now, build up that nest egg in there as fast as you can. Because once you have children, those of us who've already been there and done that, let us tell you right now, that tends to take up a little bit of your income. So let's do an example. If your company matches contributions up to 5% of your gross wage, and then you contribute 10%. So you put in your 10, they match it with 5. That's 15% of your wages every year. Now let's put some numbers to this example. So let's say your salary is $75,000. You put in your $7,500. They match it with half of that, $3,750. That's now $11,250 saved every year before you pay taxes on it. You're not paying taxes on it. It's going in there and sitting and earning interest while it sits there with no taxes being paid. In 10 years, that's $112,500 without the interest being calculated in. You see how this is a good start on your retirement? And see why you should be putting in more? So the more you put in, the better it is. If you have a lot in your 401k while you're young, prior to getting married, you know that's all your money. That nest egg is all yours. You don't worry about it being marital property until after you're married. But that's a whole thing for lawyers. Don't get me going on that because I'm not a lawyer. But be very cautious. I want you to read the 401k materials that you are giving. Each plan is designed for the employer, by the employer. So you will want to read the plan document and make sure that you know the ins and outs of your company's plan. The HR person will know the plan, but they will not be able to tell you what is in your best interest. They will tell you what's in the company's best interest, and they will tell you what the company part of the plan is because that is their job. So not understanding your 401k could cost you money. And regardless of your risk tolerance, understanding, or math ability, it is unwise at best to allow the HR person to select the funds or investments for your 401k. Okay. I reviewed one this year for somebody, and the investments that the 401k money were going into were selected by the HR people, and it was doing very poorly. So here we are in this up year for the stock market, but their investments were doing very poorly. Not cool. So the funds got changed around. We got some expert advice and we moved them. Now the account is doing extraordinarily well. Okay? Big difference. So you must advocate for yourself or get someone to do it for you. Don't let HR people manage your savings retirement decisions. They are managing the 401k account. They are managing the company part of it. You need to manage your own part of it. You see the division? Company part, your part. Let's keep it real clear. Now, I know, cue the whining HR people, but you know I'm right. They work for the company. You work for the company. You're the employee. Cover your own assets. That's all I'm saying. Now, after a certain length of time in the 401k, you are what would be called fully vested. That means all of the money in that 401k is now legally and technically yours, whether you stay or change jobs. And once you change jobs, most companies want you to leave that 401k money invested in their plan. That could cost you a lot of money. So a transfer to a different account is in order, not to the 401k plan of your current employer either. Let's discuss this transfer thing. A transfer is when you take qualified money from a retirement account and move it to another qualified retirement account. 401k to IRA, IRA to IRA. Qualified retirement money to qualified retirement money. And you never touch this money. It's a transfer. It goes from one to the other just on paperwork. You never see it. Now, a withdrawal, on the other hand, incurs taxes and penalties. Okay? So be very careful when you have left an employer and you say, I want to move my 401k. Don't let them say, great, we'll get you a check. You're going to end up paying taxes and penalties on that. You want to give them paperwork in writing that you have already selected where you're going to transfer that money to so that it moves without taxes and without penalty. Okay? If you need help with that, reach out. It is something that most people do not handle on their own. Most people get someone who is very expert in this to help them. And there's a reason for that. You don't want to pay that penalty, and you don't want to pay those taxes. Okay? All right. Most 401k accounts limit the investment options to selected mutual funds. So this could hamper your account growth. You need to select the right fund that's within their family of funds. Transferring a 401k from a previous employer also relieves you of the never talked about but true risk of the company going out of business and taking your retirement account with them. Legally, it's not allowed, but actually sometimes does happen. I've seen it happen. So if you're leaving an employer and you're not real sure about them, transfer your 401k to an IRA as soon as you can get your paperwork completed. Okay? And the last reason to transfer a 401k after leaving an employer is personal. If you couldn't work there for a specific reason or you were downsized, why would you let them manage your retirement money? Okay? Just asking. Grab your money and put it where you want it to be. And be cautious. Don't put all your retirement savings into mutual funds or securities that fluctuate wildly. Less volatile than individual stocks, mutual funds do still fluctuate with the market. with fund manager changes or when fee structures change.